Hello, very dear one, and welcome to this psychic garden. If you know this place, you will notice how things will be different a bit in this reading. If you are new, just stay around and see if this reading fits you. We're working with an inner aspect, which is the rebel, the teenager, the fighter. Yeah. This energy that just simply wants to go against the rules, the status quo. How do we integrate this aspect in a wholesome way so that it guides us to change, but at the same time it finds peace, that it's not always fighting, yeah? And that we don't feel we are fighting against it in ourselves. I will do a quick introduction. You can stay for it or go directly to the reading by following the timestamp. So, the things that are different, first of all, is that I recorded first the video of me shuffling the cards and getting them out, and now I'm recording the audio. I just felt called to do this, and I think it has to do a lot with this search for change, for newness, for excitement, that it's in the rebel energy. And how can we give it the space to experiment? And also, it's when we give it the space to experiment, it can come up with ideas that actually fit us much better. So I'm just using myself as an example. When I channel a certain archetype, this becomes very present in my life, and this is why it's present even in the changes for this video, for this reading. And that's why I give myself as an example. I really do connect much more with the energy if I do first shuffle and take out the cards, because I can silently connect with the cards. And then right now I'm sitting in meditation, just channeling the energy and the information, and I don't have to do any more movements. So this is how I read for myself, for example. I simply first shuffle. I'm silent, of course, but then I sit with the cards, and yeah, for me it's just a quieter way of doing. So my inner rebel was uncomfortable with the usual way of doing things and called for this change today. I don't know how it's going to go, but I allowed it to do. So this was the introduction. It's mostly about me and how this energy played out in this specific situation. But it's also, I wish that this simply sets the tone of how we work with this energy. How you are invited to work with this energy of the teenager, the one who doesn't want to do things in the routinely way, in the way it was always told to do things. And how can it revolt against the norm? But it's very important that our adult self guides it, not controls it, not be afraid of it, but guides it, okay? So now I will start going through the reading, through your cards. Okay, so first we see this beautiful combination in colors of yellow, gray, and purple appear. The yellow card is caution, the gray card is surrender, and the purple card is magic. So yeah, it's important to approach this inner aspect with listening to it with kind of a suspicious mind. Okay, yeah, we are suspicious of this inner rebel that wants to do things that might get us into trouble. It might get you into trouble. So first, listen to it. Don't shut it down, listen to it. Now, when you listen to it, one of those aspects, either the adult or the rebel, has to surrender. So listen to it, negotiate with it, and then through this negotiation, find which one will surrender and allow it to surrender, so that this struggle is over, so that you can either then follow the footsteps of your adult or follow the footsteps of your teenager self. Yeah. When you do that, when you surrender to one of those for the time being, for this specific situation, then you will find magic. Really, magic comes out of allowing yourself first to listen with caution, with a suspicious mind, then to choose which one surrenders, and then to act. When you act, then be aware of how this plays out in your life, and register if you see how everything kind of starts playing out in your favor. This is the magic that comes out of this inner conversation that you had with that aspect. Okay? Yeah. So then I chose to take 2 more cards from another oracle deck, which is the Synchronicity Oracle deck. And it came out creativity and community. So this is very straightforward, right? Which are the creative ways in which we are approaching others? How can we get uncomfortable and allow the expressive, challenging teenager do the thing, like call that person not impulsive but creative. Turn the impulsive teenager into a creative one, because this impulsive force will start having one idea and another and another and another. Listen to all those ideas and then approach others from that creativity. Okay, when we follow the first impulse, when we are just impulsive, we get into trouble. So sit a bit with all the ideas, sit with the creativity of the teenager, because this is what the teenager is doing when it questions the rules. It's coming up with other ways of doing things. And this is beautiful. This is why we want to integrate it. So when it's questioning, listen to all those ideas. And this is going to play out in your relationships, how you approach others. Okay? And of course, here's again the caution. Be careful if you find yourself allowing your adult self to surrender too soon to the impulse of the teenager. It's a balance between these two forces. And then I was going to take 3 cards and 2 on the bottom, just aligned over the oracle deck, and suddenly this happened. You see why the magic of doing the video and the audio? Okay. Then, yes. So the thing is that we have these 3 cards on top, which are the King of Cups, Judgment, and the King of Pentacles. King of Cups on top of the Caution card. What does it say? It is to connecting with our true loving nature, that we listen to that caution voice. Are we really moving from a loving place when doing this? Is this the loving thing to do? Or is this just instant gratification? Is this loving for myself and for the other person? Am I taking myself and the other person into account when doing a certain action? This is the King of Cups on top of the caution card. The Judgment on top of the surrender card is precisely this, right? Which one of those, adult self or teenager, is going to die in the process? We allow it to die. We allow it to simply, yes, surrender, and with the Judgment card to wait for its turn when it's turn to come. It's this choosing and talking to that aspect which is not moving forward at that time with a compassionate voice, so that it understands that it's simply not its turn to play right now. Even to your adult self, you can't control this, you can't predict this. Allow your teenager to take you through the motions now. Allow your teenager to do this movement. And your adult self will also cringe, like a mother with a teenager, will also be uncomfortable. But allow it to acknowledge that it's a moment to let the teenager flourish, the teenager in you flourish, okay? And then the magic with the King of Pentacles is this all the fruits of this labor that are going to come forth, precisely what I was saying about this magic. You will notice the results of doing this step-by-step process of inner conversation with your teenager in your environment, in the things that come to be present in your life. You will notice this. And if there is something that it's not stable in your life, then it means that either the adult is governing too much or the teenager is governing too much. And it's for you to ask, what is it? And go back 2 steps. Caution, surrender. Caution, surrender. Caution, surrender. This is basically the main message that your guides want you to get from this reading, okay? Then, we had the creativity, and then, okay, as I said, this happened. Just a bunch of cards came through. There. Okay. And I counted them, and they were exactly 12. So this means that they go in 4 piles of 3, and I arranged them. And they turned out to be these 4 groups, which I will read per group. Okay, in the first group we have the Wheel of Fortune, the 6 of Swords, and the 9 of Swords. I want you to know that I am reading the energy in this moment. I didn't reflect on the energy before. I'm just looking at the video again and reflecting with you. So this is as spontaneous as if I were doing it live. It's just different. Okay? Yeah. The Wheel of Fortune, 6 of Swords, and 9 of Swords. This is challenging. This is a bit challenging, to be honest. Yeah, this is the struggles that you are feeling inside. Shall I go in that direction? Shall I sit here and wait? Shall I move forward and fast? Shall I just feel and be anxious and blah blah blah. Okay, if you are stepping into these two energies, then it means that it's better to allow things to move first, okay? Because there are these two energies that I feel are opposing right now, the Six of Swords and the Nine of Swords. One wants to move in their own direction, like go away from a situation, go its own way, disappear. And the other one wants to sit and stay and wait for things to get better in that same situation. But I'm feeling that none of them is happy. The one that it's going in its own direction is kind of a rupture. Precisely this rebel shutting the door on things, okay? Impulsively, yes, this is what I feel with the Six of Swords right now, this impulsive movement forward. And with the Nine of Swords, I feel that it's the adult self saying, no, we stay and we control the situation. So this means that the situation is not yet clear, that it's time to wait for the situation to be clearer. When the situation is clearer, you will be free of this 6 and 9 swords type of imprisonment. It's not an imprisonment, but it's pulling you in two different directions so that you feel stuck there, okay? So the Wheel of Fortune is saying you have to let things outside evolve a bit so that you can then take a decision. So just be patient, not anxious and waiting like the 9. It's not time for you to focus on the situation. It's time for you to let things evolve until things get clearer. Okay? And then we had, of course, I want to say first that this is accompanying the creativity. Allow also your mind to search for other problems to solve. Okay? The main problem in your mind is something you cannot solve right now. Something that it's going to be solved in time with the Wheel of Fortune. Okay? So your creativity wants to solve this problem. Your guides want you to channel this creativity into another situation, into another area of your life. Refocus, okay? When you do this refocus, then we find these three energies. The Two of Cups, the Page of Cups, and the King of Swords, okay? Beautiful. Okay, so agency. You find your agency. What things do you have agency on, and which relationships are you feeling understood, and are you feeling that your voice is heard, and are you feeling that you can give to others what you have as a wise being? In which relationships you feel honored for your voice, and you feel listened, and you feel, yeah, so that's about the King of Swords. Also, how are you allowing your art to shape your voice? And which is the loving context in which you can do this? Find a loving place for you to express yourself. The loving place is here with the Two of Cups. The Page of Swords, that's right behind the Two of Cups in this image, is not going to be easy peasy. Okay, it's a challenge. It's a challenge for you to walk, to allow things to evolve in situations which you do not control. It's a challenge. And this Page of Swords is kind of going to be this teenager that really wants a solution fast. But if you creatively refocus your energy on other things, then, okay, this Page of Swords will be in the back of your mind, saying, but what about the other thing? But the King of Swords will take full power and manifest its creativity, its expression, its wisdom in loving ways, in ways that are loving for you and others, with the Two of Cups, in ways in which you can feel this echo of love between you and your surrounding with the Two of Cups. Okay? And then in the bottom row we have the Four of Pentacles, Fool, and Nine of Pentacles. Okay, yeah. So I want to mention already all the cards in the bottom row. On the other side of the bottom row we have the Magician, we have the Three of Pentacles, and we have the King of Wands. Okay, so something I noticed in this reading, which is amazingly beautiful, is that all kings came out. Okay, and we have them kind of accompanying you through this journey, starting from the King of Cups, ending with the King of Wands, going through the King of Pentacles and the King of Swords. Okay, now the King of Wands is accompanying the Magician on the bottom row together with the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles is the building of magical temples, really, of sacred things. So it's art and creativity expressed in sacred ways. Okay, this is not something to dish out. This is beautiful. The Magician and the King of Wands are accompanying that card. So this is our arriving point. But first let's focus on the previous ones, which are the Fool. And of course the Fool is here because we need this rebel inspiration. We are talking about this rebel inspiration, okay? The Fool partnering up with the Nine of Pentacles, which is a very important energy of the adult self that is independent and in control, in agency, in true stability. And these two have worked together. At this point of the reading, these two have worked together. And it's important that you realize that sometimes working together means setting boundaries. And for your teenager, this will be a bit uncomfortable because it will kind of think, wasn't I supposed to be the guiding voice right now? It's a channeled teenager, as we said before. You listen to it and then you set boundaries to it in which ways it can act, okay? And this setting of boundaries is what's going to allow the King energy and the Magician, the King of Wands and the Magician, to be channeled forward. You see that? And they are going to be channeled forward and manifested in this Three of Pentacles. Okay? And yeah, but this boundary work is very important. How do you distinguish self from others? What things do you allow to come into your lives, and what things you are not allowing anymore? Okay? In this process of growing, yes, there are things about our teenage life that we leave behind, and there are still things that we are leaving behind. And this is the boundary work. There are things that are not aligned with us anymore, okay? And this is also, it's beautiful that it's in the row of community. we integrate better with communities when we have our boundaries clear. So this conversation with the Nine of Pentacles and the Fool is precisely this. Do we have teenage self, adult self, do we have our boundaries clear? And once you have your boundaries clear, then you're ready to go into this community situation, to be with others, to communicate with others, to exchange energy with others. And in this exchange of energy, which is also in the Three of Pentacles, is this creation of sacred places, sacred communities, sacred temples. The Three of Pentacles is about building a sacred temple for you and others, and also about building this in a collaborative sense, not just by yourself. Of course, you are bringing a whole lot of energy to this situation with the Magician, and it's your inspiration. But don't dismiss the fact that when things are done in groups, they can be immensely greater than what you could do by yourself. Of course, you are the Magician and you have a lot of power to do things by yourself, and you have all the tools you need to move forward independently. But don't dismiss the fact that when we do things in communities, the result is beyond everything that we could have expected to do alone. Okay? And this is also in the King of Wands. The King of Wands, all kings are about community. All kings are about being there for others. Okay? The best way we can be there for others is, yes, first acknowledging our boundaries. So again, this boundary work is very important. Okay? But then it's kind of doing all this integration between adult and inner teenager is allowing the king energy to flourish. Okay? And the King of Wands is the power of transformation. It's the power of making so the Magician is playing with its tools and having a lot of fun, more close to the Fool energy, and the King of Wands has complete agency of the fire of transformation. So these two put together are the transformation and creation put together, and with the community is the powerful force that arises from you setting boundaries clearly, from you being able to have this conversation in yourself with your teenager, acknowledging the powerful force of your teenager, giving it space to grow, and also giving your adult self the agency, so that your teenager is not mad at you. How can you do this? Find a way that your teenager is not mad at you, and that your adult self listens to the teenager with curiosity and also surrenders to it when it's time to surrender to it. Okay? I simply find this reading beautiful. I was very happy to do it in this way, and maybe this is the way I will be doing readings now. And this has been guided by my inner teenager. Okay, I send you a lot of love. I wish you all the best, and if you arrive to this point, do like, share, subscribe. I simply see you around. Thank you.